center build has been taking over NBA 2K25. I have been dominating in wagers with this wild big man build for the last few weeks, leading myself to an undefeated 5-0 wager record against the best players in the world. This build jumps over everybody, getting every single rebound possible, and it sets some of the biggest screens that I've ever seen in my entire life. I have two variations of this build that I'm going to show you today, one with less shooting and one with a lot of shooting. This build will soon be the meta on 2K25, and you're gonna want to make it before it's too late. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm on the road to 800,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without you guys. So click there at the subscribe button. It's free, and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss a stream or an upload. Also, I stream every night on Twitch, twitch.tv/solo_. Click the link in the description and drop a follow. Lately, I've just been streaming comp pro-am and all of my twos waiters that I play on with this build. Now we have a real quick word from today's sponsor. I have a special offer for you guys. If Victor Wembanyama scores 1 point tonight, you win money on Underdog Fantasy if you sign up using code SOLO. All Underdog is higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. You can make up to 8 picks, and you guys can see you can mix and match different sports. They even have Kobe Covington on here for the fight. You guys can see NFL, NBA. I made a ton of picks, and $20 returned to $1,600 if all my picks were correct. If you're more of a fantasy draft guy for like fantasy football or basketball, whatever sport it may be, they have a ton of different fantasy drafts. Look at all of the winnings that I got from being in a bunch of fantasy football drafts on Underdog Fantasy this year. I mean, there is just so many winnings. Sign up today and remember to use code SOLO for the 1 point Victor Wembanyama special, and also up to $1,000 in bonus credit. Be sure to play responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to show you guys the best center build in NBA 2K25. And just so you guys know, I pretty much only play on the twos court with this build. Of course, when we're going to make our build, we have 4 different options. And if you guys haven't seen, I did in fact get a creator build. So stay on the lookout. My next video will be about this. But today we're going to be making a build from scratch, or at least that's what I did when I was making the center build. So of course, we're going to go all the way over to center. And the height of this build is going to be 7'1", although I will be showing you another variation that is 7 foot flat. And if you guys haven't been watching a lot of the comp scene on 2K25 lately, whether it's the twos court or even the threes court, 7-foot centers are the meta right now. So no more of these power forwards that are 6'7". That's what a lot of people were saying when the game first dropped, or even centers that are like 6'9", something like that. Some people use them, but if we're talking meta, the best possible build, the meta is probably 7 foot, but the build that I'm going to show you guys today is insane, and it's taller than most of the other centers. This build will also go crazy in the rec, pro-am, twos, or the threes court. I wanted to make a behemoth of a center, bro. I wanted to make something that was massive, that's going to be able to jump over everybody and get literally every single rebound and just dominate in the paint. So for the wingspan, we're going to max this out. This is going to not only help us get more contests and blocks, but it's going to help us grab every single rebound possible. And then the weight is very important, because look at the strength. Right now it's at 93. We want to get at least a 96, which will allow us to get pretty much every single strength badge on Legend. I did at first want to go with a 99 strength, but the speed drops a lot, and also for the way that I want to do this build with the rebounding and have crazy rebounding, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense when you could still get all the legend badges with a 96 strength. So we're going to be doing that. It is now time for the most important part of the build. We have the attributes. Now I'm going to start off with the most important attribute when it comes to centers, especially 7-foot centers. That's going to be our offensive rebound. Now I have a ton of cap breakers. If you guys don't know how you can get cap breakers, it's through the rep system. Basically what a cap breaker is, if for some reason you're brand new, is you can put your attributes higher than what you put them at in the builder, and you can put them at +5 per attribute whenever you earn them. So I'm going to put my offensive rebound to a 94, and then I have 12 cap breakers right now, so I'm going to put 5 of them on offensive rebound. So we're going to have a 99 offensive rebound on this build. That will give us legend box out beast and also legend rebound chaser. Now with a lot of center builds, they go with 99 rebounding, whether it's offensive or defensive. Again, I think offensive is more important. The reason is simple. When you have a 99 of a rebounding, you just get way better animations than, say, if you have an 80, or right here we have a 79 for a defensive rebound. It is genuinely noticeable. And as far as defensive rebound goes, on defense, you normally have position. You can box out the guy and easily get the rebound. But on offense, you want to jump over the center that is in the paint and get that O board. So that's why I think the O board is more important. But on this build, it doesn't matter, because I decided that we're going to get double 99 rebounding on this build. So I'm putting 5 of my cap breakers on O board and 5 on D board for 99 of both rebounding, which is just insane. Now, in order to get 10 cap breakers, you have to be at least a veteran 2, or if you're watching this and it's like June, you just got the +1 cap breakers through the season pass, then maybe you can be like a vet 1 or a starter 5 or something and have 10. But regardless, if you're only a starter 3, or maybe you don't even have a rep yet, and this is, you know, you're looking for your first build ever, I would still do this and make it an investment and put your 5 cap breakers on O board when you do get them at starter 3. And then honestly, I'd bring my D board down because you don't really need double 99. But since I have so many cap breakers, I'm able to do it. Like I said, when we were looking at the physicals, we're going to go very high on our strength, and we're actually going to get a 94 strength, at least in the builder. But like I said, we have 12 cap breakers. We're putting 5 on O board, 5 on D board. That leaves us with 2, which we're going to be putting on strength to get a 96 strength, which, as you guys can see in the top right corner, box out beast will go to legend when we apply these cap breakers, and brick wall will go to Hall of Fame. And then we're going to be able to max +1 brick wall with our badge perks and get brick wall on legend. So we're gonna have box out beast legend, brick wall on legend. And again, if you guys don't have a lot of cap breakers, what I would probably do is I'd bring down my D board and get my strength up to a 96. Or if you do have 6 or 7 cap breakers, you could probably keep your D board here and then just put 5 on O board, 2 on strength. Or if you only have 1 extra cap breaker, then put your strength to 95. You feel what I'm saying? I know this might be confusing, especially if you're new to 2K, but you gotta be thinking about cap breakers when you're making your build, especially if you want to make the best build possible. Next up, something that is very, very important for centers is standing dunk. So this is something that a lot of people actually get confused, especially if you're brand new to 2K. You might think driving dunk is more important, or even maybe layup or close shot. No, the most important stat is standing dunk, and there's a few different thresholds. There is 72 standing dunk, which gives you bronze rise up. Then there is also 81, which would give you silver, and then at 90 you get gold rise up, and you get a bunch of different dunk packages. In fact, pretty much all of the dunk packages in the game for standing dunks and first center. So we're going to actually put our vertical up to maxed out at a 77. This is going to help us get a lot of rebounds. I probably should have this before when I was talking about the rebounding. Matter of fact, while we're down here, we're going to max out our agility and our speed, which is very low. But a reason why I'm kind of okay with this is because there's a lot of RNG that goes into the shooting, and how I play twos. Trust me, I play wagers against some of the best players in the world. If you haven't been watching them, again, link in the description to my Twitch. I stream them all on my Twitch. I'll also be dropping a video soon talking about the wagers and showing you guys some gameplay from that. With the RNG and the shooting, there's a lot of misses, and so I actually just pretty much stand in the paint. I never really switch on to the guard. And then if you play threes, you want to guard the corner on this build, and when a shot goes up, then you crash for the board. It's pretty simple. Same thing on fives. You want to guard the corner and then have the power forward, aka the back end, guarding the PNR. But back to our standing dunk, you guys can see now that we upgraded our vertical. We have gold rise up. We also will have gold aerial wizard. This build dunks like crazy. 90 standing dunk is it was crazy last year, but it's still insane on this game. The next thing we're gonna upgrade, and some people would argue this is the most important stat when it comes to these tall centers, this is gonna be pass accuracy. And this is another attribute that a lot of beginners just kind of forget about. I mean, I see some centers in the stage or just in the park that have a 25 pass accuracy. Pass accuracy is not only a stat for point guards, but it is very important for centers, especially if you're going to be playing rec or pro-am and you want to throw the break and have break starter, dimer, have all these badges. We're going to go really high and get a 92 pass accuracy, which gives us Hall of Fame dimer. And then I max +1 it with my badge perks and get legend dimer on this build. So every time I get a rebound, and again, I mainly play twos with this build, every time I come down with the rebound and kick it out to my guard, he is shooting off of legend dimer. And trust me, I've played with silver dimer, I've played with gold dimer. When you have legend dimer, it really does make a difference, and you will see your teammates shooting percentages start to skyrocket. Now, if you're making this build and you're going to play a lot of rec or pro-am, personally, I made this for the twos, but maybe you're making this and you're going to play, you know, 95% of your games in the rec. You do get Hall of Fame break starter at a 93 pass accuracy, so you could try to tweak the build a little bit and get that, but still, with a 92 and gold break starter, I mean, this thing's going to be throwing rockets down the court. Now let's talk about defense. Steal is a very, very important stat on this game. Now there is only one badge that we can get on this build, and that is going to be bronze interceptor. We could max out steal and get a 67, but I feel like it's better to put those stats elsewhere since we're not going to be unlocking any badges. Block is another very important stat, and we're going to be putting our block up to an 84 block to get silver paint patroller. This is something that I thought was very important. Getting silver paint patroller Silver high flying denier. First time that I was making this build, I was trying to get 99 strength, and the problem with that is that my defense wouldn't have been as good, and I also would have been slower if I went up on the weight and got more strength. So I decided to be a little bit quicker and then also have block, have interior defense on this build. You guys can let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, you guys can see in the top right corner, we're a 96 out of 99 overall. We actually have a decent amount of upgrades left over to put on this build, and this is pretty much like all I wanted with the build. We have our rebounding. They're both going to be 99 with our cap breakers. We're gonna have a 96 strength once we put the 2 cap breakers on there. We have our defense pretty much exactly where I want it. We have our pass accuracy. And then I was realizing, you know what? I could get some shooting on this build. Now, this version of the build is not going to have a lot of shooting. The second version that I'm going to show you guys will have a ton of shooting. And I was making this build for the 2s court. I was making it for the wagers that I play in. And when I'm playing with a point guard that has a 99 mid-range, possibly also a 99 3-point shot, it's just not smart for me to have a crazy high 3-point shot. Like, I'd just rather him shoot it. And then of course I have the double 99 rebounding and crazy strength. Like, I'm just going to go for the board most of the time. But as a bailout, I wanted to put mid-range on this build. And so we did that. And we're actually going to put this up to a 78 mid-range. Reason we're going 78 is because of set shot splash list. We're going to be getting this on silver. Post fade phenom will be bronze, and then Deadeye will be bronze. And we're going to unlock a lot of jump shots with a 78. Now, there is some jump shots that you get at an 80. So if you want to do that, you could try and do that. But what I actually decided to do with some of these leftover attributes is I put it on speed of ball. Now, this is a very underrated attribute that a lot of centers are not going to have. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm definitely one of the only centers that has this. But just think about it. You come down with a rebound. If you want to bring it out like that, let's say they're playing the lane to your guard, or just so you don't get blitz, just anything, right? Dribbling the ball, you are going to be faster than all the other centers that you play against. Or let's say the defense is just playing high, they're playing the pass to your guard, you can easily just run by them and take this to the rim. But if you have a 25 speed of ball, you're going to be so slow. So this is an easy upgrade. It doesn't really cost much. We're going with a 49 speed of ball. And then with the last attributes, I decided to put this on post control to a 75 because we are going to get some badges with this. You guys see post fade phenom goes to silver. We also will get post powerhouse on silver and unpluckable on bronze. That's the main reason I went 75 post control. Just having unpluckable on bronze helps a lot. We know how crazy this game is with the steals and just the fluke steals. This badge will definitely help us out, especially after you come down with a rebound. There's so many people that just spam and try to get a steal. This will help out. And again, there are some tweaks that you can do to this build because free throw, that's pretty important, especially if you're going to play in a lot of rec or pro-am. But for me, again, I'm just going to play 2s with this build. I could use it in the rec or pro-am if I had to, or if I wanted to do that. And so I'd probably take speed of ball off and just get my free throw up. You could get this to a 81, something like that. But for me, I'm going to put this at a 55, and then we're going to put our speed of ball back up. And this is the final build. This is the build that has been taking over 2K25. And if you skip to this part of the video, because I know that's what people do with build videos, make sure to subscribe. It took me days to make this build, and I really do think it is the best build right now for centers. And again, since I know people are skipping to this part of the video to see the final build, I have 12 cap breakers. So I'm going to be putting 5 on O board to get a 99 O board, another 5 on D board. So I'm going to have double 99 rebounding, and I'm going to put my last 2 on strength to get a 96 strength. We will have a legend box out beast, Hall of Fame brick wall, which we're going to max +1 to legend. So legend brick wall, legend box out beast, and our rebounding is going to be insane with a legend rebound chaser. The other max one that I'm using is dimer. So we're going to have Hall of Fame going up to legend, having legend dimer, and this build's going to be nuts. We have our 90 standing, which is more than enough for centers. Gold rise up is crazy. And then we do have our bailout option. Again, I was coming into making this build with the thought that I was not going to have any shooting on the build, but after seeing that I had some attributes left over to work with, I decided, you know what, let me get a bailout just in case my guard is box, you know, he's trying to fade baseline or something. I could just pop to the midi. And let's be honest, majority of the time you see a 7-1 center, you're not going to expect him to have any type of shooting in his build. So this catches a lot of people off guard. I hear a lot of people in game chat all the time saying, wait, I didn't even know he could shoot. And again, I'm a very high rep. I have 12 cap breakers. So if you're a low rep and you only have 5 cap breakers, or maybe you have 6 or 7, which is going to be majority of you guys, I would still get the the 99 O board, so I'd put +5 here. When you hit starter 3 rep, you're gonna get 5 cap breakers. That's not the hardest thing to do. Starter 3 is kind of easy to get. Even if you're not there now, I still would do this and just wait. If you're like starter 1 or starter 2, just grind a little bit. So you put your 5 cap breakers on O board, and then you're going to want to put 2 on strength. Now, if you don't have 2 cap breakers left over, what you could do is just bring down your D board. It is kind of annoying, and I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you're a low rep, then bring your D board down and get your strength up to a 96, and then go with, you know, something just like this. I'd probably put the rest on like free throw or something just like that. But yeah, guys, this is the final build. And again, if you skip to this part of the video, I made this for wagering on the 2s court. That is the main reason, and actually the only reason that I made this build. It is good on the 3s as well. The meta, in fact, right now in stage and just comp gameplay is using a 7-foot center, but you just guard the corner on defense. When the shot goes up, then you crash down and grab the rebound. And this build will also be very viable in rec and pro-am. Now, for the takeovers on this build, we have Broad Beast, Brute, Eraser, Grit, Intimidator, Paint Dominance, the Commander, Physicality, Orchestrator, Horse, Great Wall, Elevate, and Break Igniter. If you want to pause the video and look for the takeovers, you can go ahead and do that. I highly recommend that you use one of the takeovers with the takeover ability Blockade, like you guys see right there on Grit, and it is also on Great Wall. And maybe a few other of these, I'm not really sure. Those might be the only 2, but I'm pretty sure the takeover that I use is Grit. Now it's time to see what is this build going to be called and what are going to be the shades of this beast. We get shades of Wilt Chamberlain. That's how you know that this build is crazy. Shades of Wilt Chamberlain. We also got Mitchell Robinson and Jakob Poeltl, and it's gonna say you have built a 2-way inside the Arc Maestro. Okay, so I just loaded into the park on my build. You guys can see 99 overall 2-way inside the Arc Maestro, and I just want to show you guys animations that I'm using because I know the comments are gonna be, you know, asking for it if I don't show it. I don't touch any of the drill moves. We don't really unlock anything there. Actually, put on the Kobe Bryant triple threat style, but you're not really gonna need it. But that's just the best triple threat style. My motion style is Drew Eubanks. I think this is the best one for centers. It's actually been proven and tested by NBA 2K Labs, which, by the way, if you guys go to NBA2KLab.com, you guys can sign up using code SOLO. They did give me a code this year. They test a ton of things from jump shots, badges, builds, motion styles, literally everything. So if you're deep into this 2K stuff, again, NBA2KLab.com, sign up with code SOLO. Anyways, the rest of my animations, we have Joel Embiid post hook, dribble pull up is normal too, and then I'm gonna show you my dunks in a second. I didn't even touch layup style. That doesn't really matter. And my jump shot will be dropping soon, but it is base Jonathan Isaac. Spoiler alert. I'll link a jump shot video in the description if you need those. Now, for my dunks, I have no 2-foot moving dunks on. I'm a guy that doesn't like to, you know, put on a lot of dunk packages because the more you put on, I feel like the more blocked dunks you are going to have, and that is not good. I want to keep it simple and just put the ball in the basket. 1-foot moving dunks, we are going to put on basic one-handers off one, and that is going to be the only dunk that I have on. For standing dunks, I have on the elite standing bigs dunks for contacts, pro standing bigs as well, and then we have athletic, both of them on one hand and two hand, and then we have the rim pulls, elite basket rim pulls, and then signature dunks. You could put on Shaq, but I decided not to. Now, if you wanted more shooting in your center build, or maybe you're not even looking for a center build, but you're just enjoying the you know, the 2K content and looking at these builds, this is a 7-foot center shooting build that I want to show you guys that I actually made before I made the 7-1. This is the build that I made first. It is a 7-foot center with 257 pounds on the weight, and then the wingspan is going to be maxed at a 7'8". So this is going to be variation 2. This is the original build that I made. It doesn't have double 99 rebounding, and so after I made this one, of course this one has more shooting. I realized, I was like, you know what, I'd rather have my guards shoot and just focus more on rebounding. Now this one does have 99 O board because I'm going to get a 94, and then we're going to put 5 cap breakers on O board to get 99, but the D board is only 90, which is still solid. But if you want to get the best rebounding animations in the game and get the best Superman animations just jumping over the opposing center, you definitely want double 99, but that is very hard to do unless you are a high rep and have a ton of cap breakers. But hey, this might be the build for you guys if you're a lower rep, and especially if you want to have more fun. Again, this build has more shooting, so I'd probably honestly recommend this variation of the build. Now for the strength, we're going to be putting this up to a 91 strength, and we're going to put 5 cap breakers on strength to get a 96, which will give us box out beast on legend, and brick wall will go to Hall of Fame, which you can also max +1 with your badge perks up to legend. Of course, if you don't have 10 cap breakers and you only have 5, or you only have 6, or maybe you have none, I'll explain what I would do in a second once I'm done, you know, showing my version of the build. Next up, I think vertical is very important on centers. It's a very underrated stat. Some people just put it at 80 and leave it. I think you try to get your vertical as high as possible. We're gonna go with an 82. We're also gonna go ahead and max out our agility and max out our speed. And you guys can see, just by going 1 inch down on the height, we have 7 more speed. So it definitely is more noticeable. And I know some of you guys care about speed and agility. You want to be as quick as possible. So that is something good about the 7-footer compared to the 7-1. Now let's do the standing dunk. And the thing about this build is because it does have shooting and it's going to have a little bit more defense, the standing dunk is not going to be as high as the other build I just showed you. It's only going to be an 81, but silver rise up is still fine. It just isn't going to get every single dunk package. 81 standing dunk is still fine. And then as far as the finishing goes, that's actually going to be it. Next up, our pass accuracy is going to be going to a 91. Same thing as the other version of the center build I showed you guys. We're going to have a 92 pass accuracy because I'm going to put +1 cap breaker onto pass accuracy, which, matter of fact, I have 12 cap breakers now, so I really could make this build better and just go 90 and then put my last 2 right there on the pass accuracy, but I made this before season 3 came out. Then for the defense, the good thing about this build compared to the other one is that it does have more defense. But what I noticed in just the 2s wager meta, a lot of you guys are not going to play this way because you don't play in wagers and you don't play stage 2s all the time, is that I don't need to play a lot of defense, especially perimeter. I don't need that. So on my new build, my 7-1, we have, what is it, like 37 perimeter. But on this build, if you do want to play in the perimeter more, which again, it's tough when you're 7 feet tall, you're pretty slow, as you guys can see, you know, this build will get a 62 perimeter defense. We will get a movable enforcer and off-ball pest. And then the block and interior is also going to be higher on this version of the build. We're going to get an 88 block, which gives us gold high flying denier. And then we are going to also be getting an 88 interior defense for silver paint patroller, gold post lockdown, and now we have gold off-ball pass. Like I said before, this is the version that has shooting. So we're gonna go 74, max out that 3-point shot, give us the best possible chances of making shots, because I don't really think we're getting like badges, but you know, we could go like, I don't know, 70. You feel what I'm saying? Some people will go lower in the 3, but we're gonna max it out. Like for example, on the other version of the build I showed you, we stopped at a 78 to get that silver set shot specialist, but on this version of the build, it's more about shooting. So we're gonna max out both of them just to increase our chances, get an 80 midi and a 74 3. And then as far as the version that I made and that I have, it looks just like this. With an 81 free throw, we put 5 cap breakers on our O board, 5 on our strength, and then we put 1 on our pass accuracy. As I said before, I made this build like a few weeks ago before I got my 12th cap breaker. So what I would do is I would go 90 on the pass accuracy, actually take my free throw down as low as it can go just to see what I can work with. And then after using a center build with speed of ball, I'm probably gonna do that. But how high could our D board go? We could get a 92, which is an option. You definitely could do that. But if you want to get speed of ball up to 56, bang, that's actually perfectly lines up as it maxes out the speed of ball just like that. But again, this is the version that I would do for 12 cap breakers. A lot of you guys don't have 12, so let me show you what I would do if you only have like 5. I would take off the speed with the ball, and then we're gonna put this back up to at least a 90 for now, max out our speed. So if I only had 5 cap breakers, I'd put my pass accuracy to a 92 off rip, and then I'm gonna still put my 5 cap breakers on O board. We're gonna get a 99 O board for legend, box out beast, and legend rebound chaser. What I would probably have to do is bring down my interior to 84, bring my block down to 84, because we're gonna need some more strength. We're gonna have to try to get to 96. This build would definitely be easier to make if you did hit level 40 in some of the season 2 or season 3, or if you're seeing this down the line, you know what I'm saying. Level 40, you get the +1 cap breaker, so then you could just put 2 on strength, 5 on O board. But again, if you only have 5 cap breakers from hitting starter 3, or maybe you're about to hit starter 3, we are gonna have to find a way to get that strength to 96. So you have 2 options. I would say either you bring down the D board, which I don't know if that's, you know, what I would go with, because then bang, you can get your strength to 96, put your D board to an 83. That's an option. But I think honestly what I might do is bring my perimeter down. I don't know, because then you lose a movable enforcer. But again, as a 7-footer, how much are you really playing on the perimeter? If you are going to play rec or pro-am though, you would probably be guarding the corner and you would want some contest. But look, you could get 86 defensive board with this, and then try to get some free throw, get this up to like a 71. Honestly, I have a 71 on my lockdown. I hit a decent amount. I pretty much shoot like 90% from the line. This is probably what I would do if I only had 5 cap breakers and I was like a low rep. So this is the final build that I decided to go with. Again, I made this when I had 11 cap breakers. You guys can see the badge in the top corner. The takeovers are very similar to the takeovers that I had on the other build. You guys can pause the video on these takeovers if you want to look at them, if you are considering making the build, or you know, you could just probably put this in the build yourself and look at them. But again, I'd highly recommend that you use blockade takeover ability. So grit, great wall are just some of the takeovers that unlock that takeover ability. Now let's see what the shades of this build are going to be and what is the build going to be called. We get shades of Jack Sikma, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Goga Bitadze. So not the best shades at all, but trust me, this build is an absolute monster. It's going to say you have built a playmaking defensive anchor. And now I loaded into the park on my playmaking defensive anchor. You guys can see 99 overall. And I just wanted to show you guys animations for this build as well. As you guys can see here, same thing as the other one, motion style Drew Eubanks. We have triple threat style. Again, put this on Kobe Bryant if you have it. That's the best triple threat style in the game. We have pretty much no Drew moves on. Again, base Isaac jump shot video will be linked in the description below. I'm going to show you the dunks in a second. We have normal 2 dribble pull up, post hook on Joel Embiid. And here are the dunks that I use in this build. Again, no 2-foot dunks. 1 foot is going to have actually, oh, I thought I had none for a second. We have hangs, athletic hangs off 1. Then for the standing dunks, we have rim pulls, elite basket rim pulls, athletic 2-hand under basket athletics. Then we have pro big man contact dunks. And I do have on Shaq dunks on this build. Honestly, I probably would say go without them though. And then we have no alley-oop dunks. If you want to see me using these builds, click the link in the description to my Twitch. Follow me, solo_ on Twitch. I'm probably even live right now. I've been streaming every single day playing wagers on this build. And subscribe if you guys are still watching, because this video took me a while to put together. And if you guys are going to use these builds, leave a comment. Come back to this video if you make a build and let us know. Confirm to the people that are wondering that this build is in fact an all-around monster.